You're live on the internet.
Wow. What a fascinating and amazing thing that I've never experienced before. Hi, everyone. How are you doing? Tonight we're going to be talking about...
Oh, well, I forgot to grab my chair.
We're going to be talking about various topics, as I said in my tweet. We're going to be discussing Trump's quid pro quo problem with the ongoing impeachment investigation. We're going to be talking about Elon Musk, who had a very strange deposition in the solar... Whoa. Whoops.
And?
We're going to be talking about Jeffrey Epstein's definitely not a suicide, and...
Jeffrey Epstein.
And, Holocaust denial, I guess.
Did you see that, the guy from The Daily Show, what's his name?
Jon Stewart or
No,
someone else?
the one that's been running within the last decade.
Oh, Trevor Noah.
Yeah, Trevor Noah asked Hillary Clinton how she killed him.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know what her real answer is, but I know the answer she gave. Laughing. Imagine laughing at the death of one of our most beloved citizens, Jeffrey Epstein. Everybody loves Jeff, right? Wasn't there a way to just do chat again? Yeah. What was it? I couldn't figure it out last time. That's okay. Jake, you also have that shirt? Bob Ross is a very popular painter. It would shock me if none of you had this shirt, honestly. Bob Ross is a good guy. So while we let people file in.
Yeah, how's everyone doing tonight?
I'm gonna ruin Alex's dice again, but this time I'm gonna try to respect the sanctity of the dice juju.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this is where we do the D&D stream, so that's why there's various props.
It is. We could probably bring this closer.
UK dude in UK says, have an e-hug, you silly Michiganders. Thank you.
Thank you for the $5 e-hug. That's how much I charge in real life, too, for a real hug.
That's not bad.
That's not a bad hug.
Okay.
How much would you charge for a hug?
Oh, boy.
To receive or give is the real,
Is there a difference in terms of hugging?
Yeah, I think you're on the outside and you initiate if you give a hug, and you get a hug if you're on the other side of that exchange, right?
Okay.
I feel like we're off center.
I don't know.
Move that way.
This?
Yeah.
I'm
a little too tall again. No, we're good. That's fine. Perfect.
I don't like physical contact with people, so like whatever prostitute prices are, probably.
A whole prostitute price for a hug?
Yeah, my hugs are very good. They're rare.
They're not.
It's a supply and demand issue.
Yeah, but wouldn't you be out of practice?
No, I'm very good.
You're very good at hugs?
I'm very good.
We have hugged.
Yeah. I'm not giving you my primo hugs for free.
Why not? That's what we're for.
No, you gotta
That's
pay.
what our relationship is.
Nah.
Primo free hugs.
Mm-mm.
That's what everyone's... That's how all friendships work, right? It's just a series of different hug exchanges.
I don't know about that.
That's how I'd like. So $10? Well, I guess, is it relative to the location? Like, if someone's from, Manhattan, the hookers are going to be more expensive than, Dayton, Ohio.
Or here.
Do we have prostitutes?
Yeah.
Have you seen them?
No, my grandfather got in trouble once for soliciting their services. He's dead now.
Was it from the hooker? Did the
R.I.P.
hooker get him?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
I'd pay $100 for a Hugo hug. That's not bad.
Okay.
Zoe Grace Harris the First with $2 New Zealand dollars, which I think we can buy ale in Hobbiton with that. Help Hugo. My dad is a relentless Elon Musk stan. Is your dad Elon Musk?
Oh God. We're definitely. I think the Elon Musk thing is the last thing we're talking about tonight.
It's on there, but it was the most interesting. It was the most interesting title.
Yeah. So let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, Scott Smith just gave us $2 to not talk about Jeffrey Epstein. Here's a little something for the boob fund.
Thank you.
We talked about that. We might be wearing Hugo down on that.
Yeah, we're talking about doing some sort of live stream fundraiser to help pay for some of these expenses, because I'm getting kind of fucked over with the expenses of the doctor's appointments and the travel expenses getting there, because it's 2.5 hours away every time I gotta go, and blood tests. And,
which is 5 hours round trip.
And then on top of that, I'm gonna end up doing, like, surgeries at some point, but That's a thing for another day.
Splaterkin with $5. Please wish me luck on finding more gainful employment. Thanks for keeping the last coming these tough times. Can't wait for more charisma saves. Hey, happy to give you some joy for $5 a pop. Every smile costs $5. We've been getting a lot of nice comments lately. I don't know if they're just trying to kiss our ass or what.
Maybe. Someone also says, "Hey Hugo, I'm about to be a dentist. Your smile is gorgeous already, of course, but you could always hit me up if you want some free care. My tooth actually hurts a lot. I've been trying to pull it out."
Which tooth?
This one.
Oh.
It's a baby tooth, because I've talked about this before.
Oh.
I have a...
Getting your teeth pulled is really cheap.
I know.
And they do it professionally.
I suppose. It's a baby tooth, though, so it's not like it's a thing that's, like, difficult, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Okay. I don't have adult teeth in some places, so it never got fully pushed out, but it's starting to hurt, so I think something's going on with it internally.
Yeah.
I don't know, teeth things? I don't even have teeth things in a lot of my mouth, so...
Most of my mouth isn't teeth, necessarily, I guess.
Yes, that's true. Your mouth is mostly empty space.
My teeth are pretty okay. I had some, I cracked this one back here. See how it's gone?
Yeah.
I cracked that one back there playing football, because I'm a manly man. And then I cracked this one in a car accident up here. This one's still in the head, though. This one got pulled. And then this one back here with the wisdom tooth, I got elbowed playing basketball. All of these are very manly, very, very alpha ways to lose your teeth, okay? But then because I was poor, I just had to get them pulled and not fixed. Luckily, they're all in the back of the mouth. Jake's teeth are offensive. They're pretty nice. Like, I'm blessed with nice teeth. It's I have one goofy one right here. Mm-hmm. But my dad had bad teeth. I assume it's because he smokes and chews, though. He had to get, like, the bottom teeth fused? I don't know why. Jeffrey E. Petrone with $5. Could you talk about ace icon Jeffrey E. Petrone instead? You are the ace icon, okay? You know what? Jeffrey does not want to fuck you. Deal with it.
Okay. That's okay.
So did you want to talk about Epstein and how he got suicided and now there's evidence for the suiciding?
Yeah, this is interesting. The New York Times was reporting on a report, I believe, done actually by Fox News. And I know Fox News, so take it with a grain of salt. But I find this pretty interesting. Basically, despite the fact that the coroner who officially looked over Epstein deemed it a suicide, someone who was also there at the time, who was a coroner for many decades, effectively said, hey, a lot of these injuries are consistent with strangulation and homicide, not necessarily suicide.
Yikes.
And that's pretty much the extent of what he talked about. But I just find it interesting, on the whole, that this is like the most obvious and blatant, like, hey, what? I feel like the second
it's like a movie.
I feel like the second he got arrested, everyone was like, I bet he's gonna commit suicide, and then that literally happened.
And then we're all unapologetically, everybody was like, yeah, I mean, we weren't kidding. We really thought that was gonna happen the whole time.
And then it turns out the cameras were off for some reason, and the guards were asleep, and he was off suicide watch despite attempting suicide earlier. I don't know. It's all pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Brian with $2. Dental colleges are half cost, same quality. You know what else is half cost? Not spending literally half the money on security guards during the Epstein watch. They're still employed, but they're on break, and you let them walk away all at the same time. And then Jeffrey Epstein's like, haha, my moment has arrived.
Yeah. It's like the reverse of that scene from Iron Man 2 where the guy brings the mashed potatoes to Ivan, whatever the fuck his name is.
Okay.
And then the potatoes are C4.
The potatoes were C4.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I like Iron Man 2. Despite Elon Musk's role in that film.
I'm not a big fan of Iron Man 2.
It's okay.
I don't really like any of the Iron Man movies except for the first one, now that I think about it.
Oh, really?
I like the first part. I like maybe the first half of Iron Man 3, where it's a Tony Stark flick, but...
I like Iron Man 3. I thought it was pretty good.
I like the Mandarin stuff, but then it's just Guy Pearce, you know? Anyway. I think Hugo could pull off Heather very well. What? Oh, like a name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm surprised no one's guessed the name yet.
Has no one guessed the name?
No.
Statistically, that seems unlikely.
They've gotten close.
Oh.
And there are
is it like a spelling, though? Are you using semantics?
No.
Oh, okay.
And there are actual hints out there. Like, the name...
Wait, you've been breadcrumbing?
The name that I...
What are you, fucking the Riddler?
The name that I've chosen is out there.
What?
No one has just pinpointed that, and it's actually fairly obvious, but, you know, whatever.
Okay. Splatterkin. Jeff died from message redacted. Yeah, so it looks like he was strangled. Do you think it was it Donald, Hillary, Bill, or X Factor, Melania?
Honestly, I don't know. It could be any number of people. I'd imagine it's someone who's quite powerful, but it might just be a money thing. It might not even necessarily be a political power thing. It could just be someone who's very, very rich. Could have been Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons, who, by the way, who was known to be an associate of Epstein and had taken a ride on the Lolita Express.
See, that sounds like it's a train and not a plane, but I guess at some point there probably was a train involved.
He was getting, and there's like a picture of him getting a foot rub, I think, by an underage girl. Yeah.
I don't want a foot rub by an aged girl.
Nah.
Or an overaged one. Any age of anybody. I don't want you to touch my feet. It makes me tickle.
Quentin Tarantino, a friend of Epstein, he probably liked foot rubs.
Quentin Tarantino definitely likes foot rubs. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino wants his toes sucked on. Yeah. I feel like he did that in a movie once.
They talk about it in Pulp Fiction, and there's feet in like every single movie.
Kind of like that one Nickelodeon exec, or was it a Disney?
No, it was Nickelodeon. Dan Schneider, he also liked feet and the feet of children.
Yeah, I mean, like, because they're so tiny and vulnerable and easily manipulated. You think that's the reason? They're so soft and uncalloused.
Okay, this is skeeving me out a little bit.
Low-key Jarlson with $2. Here's $2. You gotta earn it. I did say it. Low-key Jarlson. I could speak.
Jimmy Carter didn't want anyone touching his peanut farm. Yeah, can we talk about how fucked up that is, too? Remember when Jimmy Carter was elected president, and to avoid conflict of interest, they made him sell his peanut farm?
I think he did it. He did it.
But Donald Trump... No, it was like a thing at the time.
Yeah, but I thought he was
sell your peanut farm.
But I thought it was like he was like, oh, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's like a person with
dignity,
moral core and stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas Trump is allowed to literally make money off the presidency.
You ever see that old guy that he grew that humongous onion? That old guy in England, and he like loves the fuck out of that onion.
Yeah,
and he's like super proud of that onion.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like Jimmy Carter is with peanuts.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, look at this fucking peanut.
He takes the peanuts and he builds houses for homeless people with them.
Look at this goddamn house I built with my old bare hands. You know, the old bare hands that, like, the skin's almost translucent. He's still building homes, even though he's got paper-thin dermis. I haven't built a home. Have you ever built anything like that? I put drywall up once. I built a part of a room. No? You like wood working?
Yeah, drywall isn't that. I like making things, not necessarily constructing a structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to we should make a D&D table. Chilled Spirit with $2. Drugs! Indeed, drugs. Alex's stepdad apparently is a carpenter. And we could woodwork. We could do the woodworking.
I don't know if I'd want to interact with Alex's dad.
Not dad. Stepdad. He's cool.
Sorry.
He's a cool guy. Splatterkin with $5. I'm convinced it was several hitmen fighting each other to the death to kill Jeff in some Looney Tunes-esque chase scene around the small cell. You mean Smoking Aces?
You know what, Splatterkin? I'm gonna
Smoking Aces.
I'm gonna write a spec script, and it's gonna be a dark comedy
called Killing Epstein.
And it'll be like 5 different hitmen or women.
That's just Smoking Aces.
It's 2019.
It's still Smoking Aces.
Whatever, okay, I haven't seen that movie. And it's them trying to kill Epstein, but they all, for whatever personal reason, need the money. So they're all getting in each other's way.
Yeah.
Until at the end...
This is already a movie.
Maybe the twist...
This is actually 2 movies.
Maybe the twist at the end is they do all finally get there at the same time, and he actually has killed himself.
That's not in the movie. Jeremy Piven is a coke-addicted magician. And Common, Ben Affleck, Casey Affleck, Chris Pine, what's that singer? Alicia Keys, and some other people, an assorted cast. Oh, Ryan Reynolds is there, and they all try to kill him. Okay. Well, Ryan Reynolds actually is an FBI agent trying to protect him. Yeah. But they all kill each other. Smoking Aces is a good movie. It's stylistic. I feel like you'd like it. Smoking Aces 2 is trash. Ray Liotta was there? Yeah.
Ray Liotta was in Good Burger, too, so I don't know if I trust that.
Ray Liotta was also in Goodfellas.
I think Good Burger is a cinematic apex. So.
There's really thin garlic in that movie.
Do you not remember in Good Burger where he said, I think I broke my ass? That's his finest moment.
I haven't seen Good Burger since I was probably like 8 or 9.
Please watch Good Burger. It's still funny.
It's not still funny.
It's still funny! It's too bad Kel's an evangelical Christian now.
Kel is? That explains that.
Not Keenan, though.
That explains... Did you see the new... Oh, what was it? It was like... Jilly Beans or some shit like that. They have a new like
Is this related to Jilly Juice?
No, they have a new Christian streaming service that's like geared towards children, but it also offers not only cartoons but proselytizing.
Oh, that's stupid. Yeah. At least Pureflix has plenty of kid shows. It has Bible Man, it has Veggie Tales, it has all that shit.
Yeah, but they've apparently not cornered the market near enough.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see what the second story was. Second story we're going to be covering, this I just found interesting. It's not necessarily of national interest or anything, but I think it's emblematic of problems we are having as a country in general. This is courtesy of CNN.com. A principal in Florida said he couldn't confirm the Holocaust was a factual event.
Jesus Christ.
He just got fired by the school district.
You know what was interesting? He was an African-American man, wasn't he?
Yeah.
This is usually white nationalists, so this one threw me for a loop, where this guy's just drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
He has no dog in this fight. He's just like, I don't know. I'm a history teacher, but maybe the Jews didn't die. I have no clue.
A Palm Beach County school board voted 5-2 to terminate William Latson's employment effective November 21st, according to records from the meeting posted online. According to the district, there's just cause for firing the former principal based on ethical misconduct and failure to carry out job responsibilities, after a parent emailed Latson in April to ask him how the school teaches students about the Holocaust, which is kind of an interesting email to send in the first place.
Yeah.
That maybe implies to me something was already going on, and the kid was like, hey, mom or dad, they told me this weird thing in school.
Yeah.
It just seems like a weird email to randomly be like, I wonder, how are you guys teaching the Holocaust? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was a white nationalist.
Maybe. Latson replied, I can't say that the Holocaust is factual, historical event, because I am not in a position to do so as a district employee. That reads almost like someone who's so scared to take a position, they just default to, like, I can't say anything, but he goes on to say...
I mean, literally just say, the Holocaust definitely happened, because it happened.
Yeah. Let's see... What else did he say?
I never noticed how much, while you're looking through that article, I never noticed how much dice juju he's got going on here. All of the dice are exactly the same.
It's meticulous.
Yeah.
According to the paper, Latson told the parent, quote, not everyone believes the Holocaust happened, and you have your thoughts, but we are a public school, and not all of your parents have the same beliefs. Now here's the problem, and this is why I think it's emblematic of problems we're having as a country as a whole. There's this obsession with both sidesing literally everything, to the extent that people are, like, on news programs bringing on anti-vaxxers and shit to try and, like, well, we gotta give a balanced view, or having people on, like, they'll have Bill Nye to talk about climate change, and then they'll have a climate change denier on, as if they need to weigh these things equally. I don't want balanced news or opinion. I would like informed news and opinion.
Unless, like, if it is actually a debate, like, I don't know, let's talk about this millage proposal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but this is like literal scientific fact. In this case, it's historical fact. It's not even like the World War II was so long ago. We don't have like it's not just like people writing about it in their journals back home. Like dearest Mabel, today I saw the strangest thing. We have fucking movies. Like, literal film of people on the ground looking at this. We have aerial footage. We have on-the-ground snapshots. We have interviews with Holocaust survivors. The Nuremberg trials happened, and the Nazis fucking admitted it. Several of them, like, literally watch any of this stuff. It's absolutely insane. We have the propaganda that the Nazis put out. We have the propaganda from all the speeches that Hitler gave, and Goering and fucking Himmler. And like what? It's the most historically like sound thing that we have because it was such a big event. Like there's a reason there's so much World War II media. It's because we have a fuckload of information.
Yeah. The district said Latson had been counseled about his choices and that he had traveled to Washington, D.C. to visit the U.S. Holocaust Museum and learn more about the mass genocide perpetrated by the Nazi regime that took the lives of 6 million Jews in Europe. Have you been to the Holocaust Museum in D.C.?
I've never been to D.C.
I have. It's actually, it's as you'd imagine, a pretty sombering experience. If you ever have the opportunity and you're in D.C., I'd suggest you check it out. It's weird to say. In terms, because obviously it's about this huge tragedy, but as a museum, as a piece, I don't know how you'd put this. It's curated amazingly. Sure. The museums in DC are just fucking bonkers amazing, as you might imagine. And they have these really great exhibits that put into perspective the enormity of the tragedy and this horrible crime that was committed, because they have this whole room. I don't know if it's still there. But obviously they have tons of artifacts, as you'd imagine. They have a whole room of just shoes piled up.
I've seen that.
And stuff like that. And it's... I don't know. I'm curious what this guy thought when he went there. Like, what is he...
Nothing,
Is he just ignorant, or is he...
No, it's all a fucking... Like, same thing with the moon landing. Even though we have literal document... Like, you can just watch it happen. They in the mountain of evidence, they just, they don't want to believe the thing. And I don't know why. I get it in cases like, say, JFK, right? Where you don't want to believe one person has the power to kill the most powerful person on the planet. And sure, maybe there was a conspiracy involved because there was like conspiracy to actually get him killed, but it was definitely one guy, right? It wasn't like there wasn't a grassy knoll. There's no evidence for that at all. You could say maybe the mob was in on it and stuff, and maybe they were.
Sorry, they're just saying you're loud and I'm quiet. So
it doesn't make a lot of sense. Specifically the moon landing, which it doesn't make any sense. But, like, Holocaust denial is, like, you can talk to people that were there until, like, I mean, they still exist.
Yeah.
They're still alive.
There was also someone at the Holocaust Museum when I was there, and this was more than a decade ago at this point, probably. Or maybe just about a decade, actually. There was a survivor there, and I assume that there's a couple that live in the D.C. area.
Yeah,
some that
probably do this.
Either get paid or maybe they volunteer, I'm not sure. But they were there, and they're there to literally answer your questions and just talk to you about this. And they show the tattoo. It's an experience. It's crazy. I don't understand the amount of falsified evidence that would be required to make the Holocaust a thing if it were a conspiracy is just astronomical.
Yeah.
I mean, after the war, you would have had to have somehow faked countless numbers of peoples who were actually liberated from the camps. You would have to doctor the fact that all these Jewish and like Romani families and stuff had suddenly disappeared.
Right. In a theater of war that spanned like almost the entire continent of Europe and Africa and the Eastern like into Russia and over into Asia. Like it's really it's people do the same thing about like Khmer Rouge. They do the same thing about the rape of Nanking. Yeah. It just like maybe they don't want to believe they live in a world where that cruelty exists. But like I don't understand. Like there isn't evidence to support it. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
And sad.
So I guess that's enough about the depressing Holocaust denier guy.
Well, I guess I also think it's interesting that it was a teacher, because
principal, but yes,
or a principal, but an education professional, I guess. Was it a public school?
Yes, it was a public school in Florida. Florida man.
I mean, obviously it was Florida, but
Florida man denies Holocaust.
Is
he Donald Trump's a Florida man now?
Wow.
He changed his residence to Florida.
Oh, Jesus.
I would assume for some either tax or legal...
Probably taxes. They don't have state tax.
Oh, okay. That must be it. Yeah. Or perhaps a legal reason. Maybe he thinks, if I'm out of office, then New York can't prosecute me if I'm a resident of Florida.
Jesus.
Which I don't think that's how that works if you commit crimes in a state.
No, it isn't.
Anyway.
Especially federal crimes in a state.
Yeah.
They're still federal crimes.
So, next story. This is, I think, a good thing. On the more positive note, Twitter has officially banned all political advertisement.
I like it.
I do, too. This is, of course, coming on the heels of Facebook being under fire for various things in regard to the 2016 and 2020 elections.
Florida man runs for office, destroys country. Thank you, Bellum.
Yeah. This is also coming on as Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook have basically taken the position that we will allow politicians, especially in ads. We have general policies about lying and misinformation and vitriolic speech. However, if you're a politician and this is an ad, it doesn't apply to you, which is a really batshit insane stance to take. Yeah. So I actually, despite the fact that we're at a point in human history where we're having to take sides of fucking giant corporations, and that's disgusting, I still think it's a good move for Twitter as a whole. However, interestingly, after the announcement, their stock went down about 1%, which I think says some pretty poor things about the political and economic systems that are at play here when a company can say, like, hey, there are issues, and we're not going to do political ads because it unfairly, how do I put this, unfairly, at least right now, causes people to get misinformation, or it causes things to be open to interference, and the market, because the market is based upon pure profit without any consideration for the effects of what it's doing, says, fuck you, no, we want this
And by the way Twitter works, this is only working for promoted tweets, right?
Yeah.
This is not like saying that like political pundits or political campaigns or candidates in general are being silenced. Like, if Donald Trump puts something out, it's going to get retweeted. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just, they don't get to promote it, which I think is fine, because it's pretty much exactly the free marketplace of ideas at that point, right? It's what they don't want, but they say they want.
There's no worse place on Twitter than the replies to a Donald Trump tweet. No matter who you are, it's a cesspit every time. And
replies
it's just
to Red Ice TV are worse.
I haven't seen that, so... Who's Red Ice TV?
They're Nazis!
Oh. Like the kill stream?
Worse!
Oh, no. Anyway.
Yeah, they're really bad. I don't know. Would this have changed the last election? I don't know.
No, I don't think
I think Facebook has more to do with it, to be honest.
To an extent. There are a myriad of factors that went into the last election. A lot of it had to do with the Electoral College. A lot of it had to do with people who were Jill Stein voters or third-party voters because they didn't want to vote for Hillary. It had to do with Hillary being a terrible fucking candidate. It was a whole bunch of stuff. Hopefully that confluence of things will not also happen in 2020, because another 4 years of Trump, oh man, my heart and liver cannot take it. Please do not allow that to happen.
I say interesting, but just not good in general things. I saw a tweet during the Zuckerberg discussions, and Facebook had determined that these a bunch of these different Facebook pages were independent entities and not connected in any way. Everything that was about 18 or 20 different accounts, versions of like Patriot and Free Speech and American Way and blah blah blah. All of whom had IP addresses from Russia, and all of whom uploaded the same Daily Wire article within like 300 seconds.
Well, during the Mueller investigation, they did indict something like 17 Russian nationals or something like that. And when they did that, they also released a list of pages and particular like image macros that had been propagated by these people. And it was all that kind of shit. There was also some far lefty stuff, but not as much. There was a lot of right wing, like freedom, patriot. Look at this Muslim person. Doesn't their existence make you mad? Type shit.
Super dumb.
Stuff that's very intentionally divisive in an attempt to push people to extremes. And it was very depressing and continues to be.
And effective.
Yeah. Goddamn boomers.
Goddamn, but also Bernie bros and stuff like that. But I feel like it's definitely more boomers, because boomers are who vote for Trump on purpose. Like, they were always going to vote for Trump, right? Regardless of what happened, they were going to vote for the guy, and let's be real, the guy that was representing the Republican Party. They don't have any interest in integrity. Now, maybe this has changed. It seems like he's not very favorable. He's lost farmers, which just means he's going to lose a lot of rural America. Did you know that farmer bankruptcies are as high as they've been since 2011?
No.
And that was during a crash, obviously. Not a good time due to the sanctions on Chinese exports and stuff, or imports.
Yeah.
And so he's definitely losing rural America. I don't know who they're going to vote for, but I don't think it's going to be Trump. I think it'd be more likely that he just gets less votes rather than the left getting more votes, but that's all you really need anyway.
I think
Colonel Sagan with $5. I remember being mad I couldn't look at the Daily Wire on my school computer. Thanks for helping to pull me back from the brink. Oh boy, you walked past the brink and went to the Daily Wire, but I'm glad you're back.
I think the people on the left will get whoever the Democratic candidate is. I think the pool of candidates is better this year, assuming it's not Biden. Basically anyone else.
Biden keeps losing ground.
Good. Fuck Biden. As long as it's not Biden, I think Democrats will do better this election, because Hillary was like poison for that ticket, and she was not doing anyone any favors. Remember Pokemon Go to the Polls? Her entire persona was so and I don't make political decisions based on personas. However, a lot of people do, and image matters in politics, especially at the national level. Even
with that, Biden's still better, and that guy talked to us about corn pop. So like I don't think he's he's not a particularly strong candidate. I don't think he's good in a debate. I think someone obviously like Bernie or Warren. Warren seems to be pulling out front. People want Tulsi for some reason because they just like Donald Trump, but hot.
Yeah,
I don't know. She's not as bad as Donald Trump. Don't get me wrong, but like she's very hawkish. She's like, the fact that she caucuses with the Democrats. She's a blue dog Democrat at best. Like, she could easily be a Republican, and she wouldn't have to change a single policy thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping Bernie wins, but I'm guessing it'll be Warren because of image stuff.
I think it might be Warren and maybe like a Castro. It would be as very a running mate,
if Warren won, it would be very smart of her to pick Biden as, or not Biden. It would be very smart of her to pick Bernie as a running mate.
I think so. I think both of them on the same ticket is good, but there are people that are stupid and don't understand the type of socialism he is, and just think like I don't know, like it's gonna be Venezuela, which by the way is like 80% capitalist, but you know. I'm from California. My vote counts for like a third of a vote. And we always go Democrat. My vote statistically doesn't matter, especially because I'm progressive leftist. Yeah, that's kind of how it works, but you got to keep going. It doesn't matter.
Fuck the Electoral College, though, for real. Who likes
definitely fuck the Electoral College?
Literally no one except idiots like the Electoral College. It makes people feel that their vote is pointless, whether you're a Republican in California or a Democrat in the deep red South.
Yeah.
Like, it feels pointless. Just do popular vote. We're like the only country on the planet that does this shit. It's insane.
Yeah. I also think, well, when you vote nationally, you're voting locally as well. So definitely vote locally, even if you think your vote doesn't matter, because you're only talking about the vote that doesn't matter as your electoral one. The other one counts for exactly one vote. And depending on where you live, it could count as more than one, because you might have, different turnout. Your local taxes, your schools, your roads, things that affect you directly are on that ballot. So definitely still go vote, even if you don't think nationally you're going to be able to put a dent in it. Let's be real. This vote coming up Texas could go blue.
That'd be nice.
So, Republicans are genuinely worried about that, and they're betting on complacent young people and complacent lefties. So don't let them win that argument. You might be surprised about some of the states this next election, and hopefully we can get rid of the Electoral College after that. But, think about this. The Republicans don't want to get rid of the Electoral College because they'll lose every election. Consider what you do to the Republicans. Just by going out and telling your friends in Texas or Ohio or Pennsylvania or wherever you're at, Florida, to go out and vote and swing those states from purple to blue, we could get rid of the Electoral College. You'd have to push just to win elections, the right would have to push left. You would literally you'd force, single-handedly almost, you would force the Overton window left just because a popular vote, they would have to do, get this,
be
popular things. So, Texas is very close to going blue, and it's all because of things like immigration, which is why they try to stop it constantly. So, which is also weird because as a capitalist, it's very interesting how the right has to balance this. As pure capitalists, free market capitalists with very little restriction, Republicans are
capitalists.
Sure, yeah, but they need immigration to keep labor cheap, to keep prices down, but they won't win elections if they keep letting immigrants in. So it's a very interesting sort of balancing act they have to do. How about help them fuck it up? Help them fuck it up. I guarantee if you go out and you give your vote, you'd be surprised how much more your vote counts. I'm just saying.
Okay, so that's enough about that. Oh boy, now we're on to the quid pro quo. Trump quid pro quo stuff, and also White House. Let's see, what's the name of this article? Hold on. Of course, for those of you who don't know, basically what was happening was what the current impeachment inquiry in the House is about is Donald Trump apparently on a phone call with, I believe it was Ukraine, basically said, hey, help me investigate the Biden family or we're not going to give you aid.
Joe Biden's kids specifically.
Which is fucking illegal, if you don't know. As the president, you're not allowed to say, hey, for personal gain for myself and my party, you need to help me get dirt on a political opponent, otherwise we're not giving you money. You're not allowed to do that. It's very illegal. And now, this title of this article is White House official who heard Trump's Ukraine call to offer, damning testimony to House impeachment investigators. Yeah, that happened actually, I believe. This is from a couple days ago.
Is this a protected whistleblower, or do we know their name?
I think this one was someone who we knew their name. Let's see. It was Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vidman, told House Committee Tuesday. And there was also another article that I almost pulled, but I guess I didn't. That was about Trump apparently doing something similar with the UK now, being like, hey, help me with this impeachment thing, or whatever. You can't do this. You can't do this. Now, don't get me wrong. Trump has done many illegal things. I don't necessarily... I think there's a fair chance he'll get impeached by the House. He's never going to get removed by the Senate because of the Republican majority. However, I still think it's a good thing to bring out publicly and have these public hearings.
I think so, too.
Hopefully it'll help in the election, but who knows? We'll see what happens. I don't know. I feel like people are just fucking tired of all the Trump shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's lost his novelty, which is good. The novelty of him was like, haha, the memes, right?
Yeah.
And memes won an election, and then people are like, well, this isn't fun. I thought this was going to be a little fun. He hasn't done anything that anyone necessarily wants him to do. There's very few people that if you actually ask them before the election, what do you want Donald Trump to do? He has followed through on that thing and has met that successfully. Basically, people that are on Team Trump are there because it's like it's like pride, I guess. You typically have MAGA hat wearing people that are just like, he's my president, and you're like, why? Because I'm a patriot. But why? Because he's my president. And it's like, so you don't really, he's just your guy. He's just a guy that you voted for, and you don't want to admit that he's bad.
My father, who I don't talk to, thankfully, is this person. He will openly and proudly be like, it's a team sport to me. It's no. How fucking stupid do you have to be to not consider what politics is? And by the way, politics affects literally everything in your life. Yep. From your job, to your healthcare, to education, to the wages you get paid, the ability to be unionized, whether or not you can be fired for certain things, the rights that you have, the rights that your children have, the policies that affect you, your children, and their future. All of this is politics. The idea that one person says, well, this is my side because it's my side, is the dumbest, most... I don't even know the word... I don't have the words to express how short-sighted that is.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Why would you do something, and what kind of mental illness do you have to try and do things out of spite and to try and win despite the fact that it's going to harm you and the people you care about? It's insanity. I honestly cannot express how frustrating it is to deal with people like that.
Yeah, it's...
how little moral fiber and moral character do you have that thought? I don't understand.
I don't think they think about it. Like, there's lots of people that are just, and not to sound like a big brain boy here, but, I mean, most people that watch political content enjoy the conversation, the policy and stuff. Disposable Zero with $2. Manufacturing consent threatens democracy. Yeah. There's a lot of people that just... they think it's like a game. They don't actually understand that, like, they're like, oh, my life's fine. Unless you're a fucking farmer that voted for Trump, right? My life's fine unless you're someone in a newly unregulated field that's slowly losing their job. But they can't connect the dot to, like, oh, this thing that this entity did, Donald Trump in this case, but it could be anybody that's in president that can do an executive order or fuck a trade deal. Like, down the line, it does fuck you. Maybe you don't understand because you just, like, you can't take the A to B to C, but, like, you are being fucked by this. I assume you want to read that one?
Sure. Chris Kilgore. Hugo, no matter the name, you're beautiful, and I'll always smash. Fast or slow lovemaking, am yours. Heart, love you. All right.
Thanks, Chris. I think if people are comfortable, they get a certain way. But, like, Republicans, for some reason, will blame, like, they're still blaming people like Hillary and Obama for their problems.
I read an article today. It was a Republican requesting information on Hillary's private server in 2019. Like, you guys know she lost, right? She's done. She's barely in the public sphere. What is the point? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's. I think they're afraid to have voted for the guy that shot them. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it makes sense. Like, you want to be in denial about like, oh, I made a decision that was counter to my interests. And I don't know why you would be embarrassed by that, because, like, he sold you lies and you were lied to. It was easy to see through the lies, but still, you were lied to, right? Why not blame the person responsible for those things, especially rural America? Hopefully we see that coming out, because I like, our community over here, where we grew up, is very rural, lots of farmers, stuff like that. I am hearing... and this is only anecdotal, just from this area. Yep. I am hearing disgruntled voices in regards to that. It doesn't necessarily mean they're going to vote blue again, but I could see people voting third party on the right, or not voting for, or just abstaining in general from the general election and going local anyway, and voting for, their conservative shit in the area, which happens anyway. But like, yeah, it's not necessarily positivity that I have in regards to this. It's just that, like, he's fucking specifically the base that the Republicans should never ever fuck. And they're seeing it. They're not that stupid. Like, specifically, just farmers and manufacturing have been roasted alive by this presidency, by his... It's not like, oh, the Senate did stuff without him. No, literally his direct action. So, hopefully that's enough. Usually when you fuck with people's money in America, that's when you lose their vote. So...
yeah, we'll see what happens.
Sean Pritchard, thanks for the $1.
Okay.
I think that's why Andrew Yang is very popular among that sort of like right-leaning libertarian, because they're like, ooh, I mean, I could use $1,000. Who couldn't? But like, he sort of gives them like that sort of like, oh, it's a businessman, run the country like a business, and that sort of fantasy of like I'm gonna do my own bootstrapsing. Yeah.
All right. From American politics to UK politics, the Prime Minister agrees to Brexit extension. Let's see, I forgot exactly when it's pushed off to. Not a good start, Boris, as the meme goes.
Boris.
Labour has run out of excuses to oppose an early election, Boris Johnson has said as MPs vote on whether to back his call for a December poll. The PM said nobody relished going to the polls weeks before Christmas, but this parliament had run its course and was incapable of settling Brexit. The Prime Minister has formally accepted the EU's offer of a Brexit extension until the 31st of January 2020. So now they have until next year, the end of January, to figure out a thing for Brexit. And I'm not going to pretend I'm extensively knowledgeable about Brexit, because I'm not. But I find it interesting, and just it's fun because maybe this is a little bit what it feels like when foreigners look at America and see the shit Trump does. So I find it.
Boris Johnson is basically their Trump. Like that's how they explain it to us.
So I find
disposable income with $2. Who did you side with in Fallout New Vegas, guys? Everyone.
NCR.
I've done them all.
I can't morally. Actually, once I did Legion, and I felt bad about it.
Why? Legion is a utopia, goddammit.
They have slavery and a much less developed area to explore, so makes it difficult to go to NCR areas. Anyway, Brexit is this huge clusterfuck. The UK voted very slimly to leave the EU. A lot of that was based on lies put forward as far as, hey, if we leave the EU, we'll have such and such amount of money to put into the NHS.
Which they're going to sack.
The National Health Service, which is their healthcare system over there. And that turned out to be a lie. The PM then at some point left, and then Boris Johnson got in, and now they keep trying to figure out what they're going to do for Brexit, because there have been offers put forward. I believe Theresa May initially negotiated a deal with the EU. This deal was fairly unfavorable to the UK, as you might imagine, because they don't have the upper hand in any way, shape, or form in this negotiation, and the EU can't particularly afford to concede here. If they effectively blink first and allow Britain to leave and give them a favorable deal, it leaves the door open for other countries to want to leave, and you can't have a union where people are not together. So they effectively have to use this as a teaching moment and be like, no, you leave, you're fucked. You can't have free movement of people, you can't have free movement of goods, all that stuff. But there's been deadlines that keep getting pushed back and back and back on Brexit because the UK can't agree to an agreement because none of it is favorable to them, and no matter what,
it's not going to be.
If they leave, their economy is going to hurt badly. Companies have already started leaving London because of this. So it really comes down to they're either going to do some shitty deal that's not going to work out
Or
very well for them. They're going to do a no-deal Brexit, which would be terrible, and would be an even worse disaster for them.
Yeah, because then it goes from getting like minimal shitty benefits to going with none.
Yeah.
Which is bad. You don't want that. It's imagine you're about to head out into the woods and your dad's like, "You don't leave the house." And your mom's like, "Okay, if you're going to leave the house, we don't want you to leave the house, but if you're going to leave the house, take this canteen, take some food, take this tent." And like, but you're like, "Hey, can I have some boots and a raincoat too?" And they're like, "Well, no, we're not going to like totally facilitate you leaving."
Yeah. And
it's like not taking that. It's cutting your off your nose to spite your face. It's like it's totally against anything you should do if you're Britain. 1 second, Maggie Allen with $4.99. Thanks for popping my atheist cherry, winky face. I lost my faith because of multiple factors, but you most of all. Hey, thanks, Maggie. Glad to have you around in reasonable land. Happy to be the reason, or one of the major reasons. You are now correct.
And then Disposable Zero with $2. Who would win a WWE match? Boris versus Trump.
I have no faith in Donald Trump to perform a physical activity to any extent.
Donald Trump would die immediately of a heart attack.
Boris would win. His name's Boris.
Yeah. I feel like he's been in some pub fights too.
Is that just because it's Britain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Or they could stay. They could stay at home and... Sure, you might get yelled at by your dad a little bit, but you're going to be in a home.
Yeah.
And you're going to be part of it. So, Britain should not leave. They should not Brexit. I don't... Like, the idea behind it is basically just like, fuck you, mate. Like, it has nothing to do with... Like, you're losing all your benefits. You lose the free exchange of goods. The NHS is just fucked if they do. It's just... They cannot afford it. Because of the way they set up their economy. They're like... The way that most of London... Like, London specifically, huge economy based on free movement. I don't know. It's just not good. It is not a good thing. You should not do it. Don't do it.
So that's all I have to say about Brexit, basically. It'll be interesting to see what comes forth in the following months. I don't know if there's... I don't know a lot about how the general election process works. I don't know if there's a possibility that will happen, and a different party might come into power and make some different decisions, or if they're just going to run straight into a wall at 100 miles an hour. I don't know. Kilometers per hour. Sorry.
Wait, someone's saying that Hillary's a socialist? Oh, yeah, Republicans probably say that shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty strange.
Then finally... My favorite story of the night. Elon Musk called the lawyer who interviewed him for a Tesla shareholder lawsuit a bad human being and other insults during a bizarre deposition. This is courtesy of Business Insider. For those of you who don't know, all two of you, I am not a big fan of Elon Musk.
No?
No, I do not like, do not want.
Do not care for Elon. And in a deposition, do you guys know what a deposition is? A deposition is basically, it's like before court things start happening, the judge sits down with lawyers on either side, and usually
the judge isn't there.
No, you're right. I'm thinking of a different... But the lawyers are there,
yep,
talking across from one another. Usually the two parties involved are there, or representatives of the party, depending on how it works. So in this case, Elon Musk, he called that guy a pedophile, right?
This is a different...
What's this one?
This is a different...
Whoever I don't know who's on the other side.
Let me explain this court
Okay,
case.
but basically it's just lawyers and this guy and a recorder, okay? And I don't know if Elon understood that he was being recorded, or if he just thinks he's too rich to be affected, but this was basically it. He didn't say this in front of, like, a crowd. He said this, like, what I assume is his brain thought, this is just between us. Fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Elon Musk is a party to many lawsuits currently, as he is the CEO of Tesla. The two main ones being what Jake mentioned, the defamation lawsuit where he called the cave diver. Remember a couple years back or whenever that was, the Thai cave rescue? And Elon Musk tried to push his billionaire nose in there and try and make a publicity stunt out of it by trying to use some stupid fucking submarine, which wouldn't have even fit. Anyway, a different guy who's a cave diver saved the people. I think his last name is Unsworth, perhaps Vernon Unsworth, if I'm remembering correctly. Elon Musk mad that someone else got the spotlight for 5 seconds for literally saving the lives of other people, said, fuck that guy. That guy's probably a pedophile.
See, I was right.
Anyway.
Oh, so this is a different
lawsuit. I just wanted to contextualize what you were saying.
Oh, okay.
So that's a lawsuit that's going forward. And secondly, this lawsuit is about the Solar City acquisition. Now, many of you may remember, 3 or 4 years ago, Elon Musk did this big presentation where he revealed, hey, we're going to buy Solar City. Tesla's going to buy this company, Solar City.
They do solar panels and other stuff.
Yeah. And here's what they have, and here's why we're buying them. And he revealed this solar roof shingle. The idea being that instead of having a bunch of ugly solar panels on your roof, the roof itself would just be made of solar panels that look a lot like regular roof tiles, except glass, and it's very cool. Again, a lot of people saw this. It was a pretty popular YouTube video at the time, because people were like, ooh, that's so future. Elon, save us, Daddy Elon. Now, for those of you who haven't continued to follow up with that,
it sounds like a good idea on paper. Like, that sounds pretty oh, the sun is there and it hits the roof.
Now, the problem with this was that presentation was a fucking fraud and a lie. It took place on the set, and I'm not making this up. That presentation where he's like, and look, we have a house behind me with a solar roof on it.
Okay.
Was on the set of Desperate Housewives. So, it was not functional.
You stop it.
The solar panel he had, I'm not kidding, it was. The solar panel he had was not a functional product. It turns out, and especially through these depositions, because what's happening is the shareholders are saying, Solar City had so much debt when you bought them, and they were almost bankrupt. They were insolvent
Should have
financially.
Bain capitaled it.
Sure. Why did you buy them? It was based on this lie of the solar panels.
Yeah.
And it turns out Elon Musk was a former head of the company Solar City, and his cousins were founders of Solar City.
So he's just helping them out.
So he was helping them out.
That sounds like fraud.
Yeah, it was effectively a bailout, and he also didn't want his name to get dragged through the mud because he was associated with that, and if he has bad business stuff on his, resume, it's harder to get investors to invest in things like Tesla.
Sure.
So he did this bullshit presentation, and he's like, we're going to start rolling these out, and we're going to get to manufacturing, whatever. As of this year, 20 of these systems have been installed.
Aren't they burning down?
20. Those are actually separate. There's a third lawsuit ongoing.
Jesus Christ.
Where Walmart was actually...
Oh, that's right.
Walmart was getting solar panels on the roofs installed by Solar City. And those weren't solar roofs. It was just regular solar panels, because prior to the acquisition, they did just regular solar panels. They've been spontaneously bursting into flame and burning Walmarts. So, that's fun.
I love that they just kind of explode sometimes. Wasn't it like,
there's a 1% chance.
Yeah, 1% chance.
Per year, and this roof is supposed to last for 20 years.
Right, so one out of 365 days. Or something like that, whatever the 1% would be.
So there's a pretty high chance your house is going to burst into flame. Anyway.
What, 3.6 days out of the year?
No, it was per year. 1% per year. So over 20 years, you have a 20% chance at some point it's going to catch on fire. Either way, that lawsuit's irrelevant to this one. So.
Whoa, boy. Kristen with $5 for your bubes. Seriously, this is your job. Use the money for things you need. I adore you both. Keep being an amazing human. And then Marcel says, sounds lit with $2. Thank you. So, appreciate you both.
What was I saying? Oh, let me talk about Solar City very briefly. Their business model was actually pretty interesting. They were sort of middlemen. Solar City themselves at the time of the purchase did not develop their own solar panels. Mm-hmm. What they did was they contracted out, bought solar panels from a third party, installed them on roofs, and they acted as an intermediary because they would say, we'll do a huge discount on this and we'll give you this really good payment plan provided you sign this paperwork to us that will then shift the tax write-off, because if you get a solar panels in the United States, especially in the Obama years, I think some of that might have been rolled back now under Trump, but you were able to get tax deductions based on that. So you give us this contract to install solar panels on your roof, you sign the tax incentive over to us, and then as a third party, they would sell those tax incentives to rich people so that they could get write-offs on their taxes. It's like, in a capitalist system, I disagree with it. I think it's a stupid thing that allows this to exist. But, in theory, it's a business plan that makes sense. But by the time that Elon Musk bought them, they were insolvent. So, now, years later, this is all coming out. And
So, wait, you can buy a tax write-off for something you don't have?
Apparently.
That is a fucking weird life.
Anyway, so, fuck, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought.
So they were buying these things, burning down Walmarts and installing third-party solar panels.
Like I said, there's only been 20 of these systems installed.
Sure.
As a whole. Tesla, the shareholders, now seeing all this information coming out and years later, them being like, nothing has come of this. It seems like this acquisition was basically a bailout for your family and yourself. And for those of you who don't know, the shareholders of a company are allowed to sue the CEO or someone in charge of the company, or the company in general, which is what's happening here, for a lapse of fiduciary duties. And what that means is making a decision that goes against the interests of the shareholders and instead enriches those within the company.
Of course. And Dungeon Cheese, Hugo hats the wear over there, a dono is fair. I don't know what any of that means, but thank you for the $2.
So, both Elon Musk and Kimball Musk, who is his brother, I believe, Elon Musk recused himself.
Kimball?
Yeah.
His name's Kimball?
Yeah. Elon Musk recused himself from the vote for the acquisition of Solar City because he had obvious conflicts of interest, but he's a CEO and he's the face of Tesla, so obviously the board voted in his favor. Yes. Kimball Musk, however, did not recuse himself, even though he also had a huge conflict of interest.
Bellum says, you say burning down Walmart's like it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing if I'm shopping there. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't like Walmart, but I don't think the people in it deserve to die.
What they're eating at the Subway that's attached to the inside, though.
Yeah, sure. So anyway, Elon Musk, as part of this court filing, and as part of this lawsuit, has undergone a deposition. Now that's all the background. Let's read some of the excerpts from this deposition, because Elon Musk is a fucking crazy person. Oh man, I gotta read that. Hold on. That's good. Elon Musk literally donated $1 million to help the planet. If he isn't bright, no one is. You're just jealous of him. None of what I just said right now had anything to do with his intelligence level, though it certainly isn't as high as people proclaim it to be if you've ever heard the man talk.
Well, so he's not bright because of the deposition thing, which we're getting to.
$1 million to Elon Musk is like nothing. I'm not saying that donating that amount of money is bad. It's good. But the fact that he's a billionaire and literally takes his private jet on 20-minute flights across LA from the north side to the south side...
Sounds like it's hurting the planet.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So, no. Anyway, let's get to the deposition and the weird shit he actually said. Let's get to the quote part. This is Elon Musk quote from the deposition to the lawyer who is questioning him.
Jesus Christ.
You seem like a very, very bad person. Just a bad human being, Musk said to Randall Barron, and I hope you come to regret your actions in the future, but you probably won't, and that's sad.
His actions being...
Being a lawyer?
Being a lawyer that is saying, hey, you're doing a bad thing.
Yeah.
This is not a good thing, and I am representing the people that say that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And it's my job to argue for that.
Yeah. Musk suggested that his irritation stemmed from a belief that Barron's conduct represented an effort to undermine the work Tesla has done to promote sustainable energy. Quote, here you are attacking a company that has done this good thing for the United States. Ultimately, something that benefits you and the world, Musk said.
Oh, now, sounds like Donald.
Regardless of whether or not you believe that's true, I don't believe that any capitalist company is going to be a solution to the global warming issue. And in fact, Elon Musk is definitely in this to enrich himself because that's the purpose of a fucking company.
It seems like more like a coalition of world governments that would fix the problem.
Yeah. This narcissistic rage that he gets when people call him out on his shit is always hilarious to me. So, I don't know. At one point, Musk asked Barron if he drove a gas-powered car. Most people do. And again, Teslas aren't cheap cars that have access to... It's not like...
Their carbon footprint is not neutral.
It would be one thing, also, if Tesla made cars that were like, hey, we're making you a cheap little $10,000 smart car.
Nope.
No, they're selling at minimum $35,000 new cars, upwards of
well,
100,000.
New is debatable.
That's a story for another day. Anyway, at one point, Musk asked Barron if he drove a gas-powered car. When Barron said he did, Musk replied, "Why do you hate the environment?" Again, he can agree or disagree with that statement. During a deposition where you're being questioned by a lawyer, especially about your judgment capabilities, this is not a good time to bring this up. Barron directed Business Insider to comments you made during the deposition. Quote, "Mr. Musk, I have not insulted you once," Barron said. "You've insulted me a number of times. Is that just your regular course of conduct?" The tone of Musk's comments was reflective of his brash personality and echoed prior exchanges with financial analysts, reporters, and critics. Tesla and an attorney representing Musk did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The deposition was part of a 2016 lawsuit filed by Tesla shareholders alleging that the members of the Tesla board of directors, which included Musk at the time, acted in their own best interests rather than those of Tesla investors when they approved the $2.6 billion acquisition of solar panel company SolarCity in 2016. Since the acquisition, Tesla's solar business has, for the most part, declined, while critics have argued that the deal was a bailout by Musk of his cousins, Lyndon and Peter Rive. Lyndon definitely sounds like the relative of Elon Musk, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Jaguar with $5. Love your work, guys. Keep it up. Thank you so much for the super chat. If you, too, would like to super chat, I will read them, or Hugo will.
While Musk said he likely would not support the acquisition if he could go back in time due to the difficulty of the early stages of production for the Tesla 3 sedan, which took significant resources away from Tesla's energy division, he added that SolarCity was far and away the best solar company Tesla could have bought at the time. Yeah, one of his defenses is that, well, solar has slowed down because our car business, the thing that we're a company that we produce for, was doing so badly we had to move people from the solar panel division to the car division. Now, I'm not a solar panel or car person. However, it seems like those are two very different fields.
I guess it depends on what they're doing. Like, it could be people doing, like, wiring based on electrical engineering. Yeah, like...
But it seems to me it's a very different specialization to go from I design or manufacture solar panels to I design or manufacture a vehicle. Could explain some of the fucked up manufacturing on the Teslas, I don't know. But that's a story for another day once again. Musk said this month that the decline in solar sales was temporary, and that he expects the company's energy business to eventually grow faster than its automotive business. Recently, in the last week or so also, Elon Musk did another live stream where he's like, version 3 of the solar roof, it's ready. He's clearly trying to try and get in front of this lawsuit and try and make it look better. And he's like, we're gonna start 1,000 a week, even though there's only 20 right now.
Wait, 1,000 systems a week?
Yes.
Oh,
he's
boy.
saying they're going to install 1,000 a week.
A week? With how... Okay, what's the manpower needed to do one system?
I don't know.
Because they're struggling with money.
They're also saying that they would like to make it cheaper than having a roof and solar panels separately installed and do it faster. They're targeting for an 8-hour installation. So you go to work and come home and it's installed. Now, especially with the oversight on the Walmart solar systems that caused them to burst into flame, I'd be very concerned about someone installing a Tesla product in 8 hours on my fucking house. But, anyway. Yeah. So that's, let's see. Is there anything else in this deposition? They actually have the transcript here. Let me see if I can read anything interesting out of this, or if that's it.
I think the most interesting part is that everybody knows that Elon Musk is, like, doing his best to stay afloat by pumping up numbers and, like, basically telling straight-up lies on social media and selling used cars under the title of new car. And and he's not in jail yet.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's almost like if you have $1 billion, your actions are a little bit inconsequential. Very strange.
I'm just gonna read some of this. I don't know if it'll be interesting, but let's give it a shot. This is Barron, the lawyer, speaking first. Mr. Musk, we're going to spend some time today talking about the decision to acquire Solar City, but before we do that, would you agree with me that as we stand here today, the acquisition of Solar City by Tesla has not worked out that well? No, he responds. So, are you familiar with the concept of megawatts deployed or megawatts invested? Megawatts deployed, certainly. Have you ever heard of the term megawatts invested? I'm sorry, inspected, not invested. Sorry, inspected. Do you mean inspectors? No, just megawatts inspected as a financial item. I don't think that's a commonly used solution. I'm not related to any party in this action, nor am I financially interested in the outcome. If there are any objections to proceeding, please state them at the time of your appearance. At this time, will counsel and all present please state their appearance? Oh wait, did I skip a page accidentally? No.
People are asking about the cars, the used and new.
Oh, there's this thing that's been happening, also with Tesla. I spend too much time on this Tesla shit. It's just a weird thing that I'm focused on because I see so much fucking fraud. It's astounding. Basically, what's been happening is certain people have been getting new Teslas delivered to them with higher mileage than should be for a new car, and then at least one or two people have then looked at, you guys know what Carfax is, right? You can go and look at the history of the vehicle. A new car that was delivered to him was involved in an accident, and then repaired, and then resold as a new car.
And this is only reported, and that was like a YouTuber.
Yeah, this shit's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah, that's a lemon.
That's not what a lemon is.
I thought a lemon was something that you falsely report an accident on a car.
No, a lemon is when you get a car and it's like a faulty from the beginning.
Oh, I
That's
see.
a lemon. It's just fraud to say this is a new. It's just fraud to say this is a new car, but it's not a new car. It had a previous owner.
And there's lots of problems with the auto navigator.
Sure.
The autopilot, as they call it, which is, not great. Not a good one.
Okay. He says, no, I meant inspected. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Megawatts deployed is obviously a common term for how many. What's the total power output of the solar panels installed? Sorry, this is going to be a little hard. Elon Musk has a very strange, stilted way of speaking. Question. Is in Solar City's public filings, they describe megawatts deployed as we track megawatts deployed or megawatt production capacity of our solar systems that have had all required building departments inspections completed during the applicable period. Is that your understanding of what megawatts deployed means? So basically, it's just saying this is a way in which your company has reported how much growth there has been in the solar business. He says, megawatts deployed is just how many, solar panels you put on roofs and ground mount. It's very simple. Question. And in analyzing what the importance is again, the public filings of Solar City indicate that, quote, we believe that tracking the megawatt production capacity of deployed systems is an indicator of our growth rate and cost efficiency of our solar energy systems business. Do you agree that megawatts deployed is in fact an indicator of growth rate and cost efficiency in solar system?
So
it's one metric.
The implication here is that they're doing poorly in that metric.
Yeah.
And Elon does not want to admit that that is the metric by which one would judge this company.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to try and see if I can get to the point where he gets belligerent. It might be tough, though, because deposition's going for a very long time.
Wait. You're sure Tesla has their I's dotted? What are you talking about? They're in several lawsuits about this stuff. What? Like, the lawsuits are happening about all of these things.
There's also an investigation that just started by the NHTSA over the spontaneous battery fires in Teslas, so...
Yeah. And there's an investigation, if I'm not remembering this incorrectly. Didn't you say that there was an investigation in regards to the multiple crashes from the autopilot?
There's not an official investigation as far as that's concerned.
Not an official one yet?
No.
Because there were several cases where they couldn't detect medians, And they were smashing cars into medians while people were sleeping and dying.
Yeah.
In their autopilot cars, which are a misnomer.
1 million robo-taxis next year.
It's next year. Is it next year yet?
No.
Oh.
It's a couple months away. He's backtracked on that, though, recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
He says it'll be feature complete by next year. What does feature complete mean, Elon? Well, it'll work more or less, but you might have to... You need to pay attention, or else it might kill you.
So it's not autopilot at all. Have you seen the video of the guy that used the autopilot to call his car, and it almost ran into his kid?
Yeah.
In his yard?
Yeah, I posted that. I tweeted that a while back. I also saw one run into someone's garage wall, which was pretty funny. It can't even see stationary walls well enough.
Like, come on. You could like the things, I guess, but like I don't know why you would.
Yeah.
It's kind of like liking it's like liking Fallout 76 in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like clearly you're being scammed. Clearly this is an unfinished game. Clearly the $100 a year subscription is adding aspects to the game that should have already been there. And you're opting into this on purpose? Seems fucking weird, man. Just because you happen to like kind of how the game plays, how the car looks. I don't know. I don't understand why people allow themselves to get fucking scammed by shit like that. Adrian Del Grosso with $5. Hey, greetings from South Dakota. I've been a fan for many years. Just want to say I love your videos. Hey, thanks, Adrian. I appreciate you. Is South Dakota extremely cold now?
Okay, moving on a little bit further in the deposition. Let's see. Back up.
I like Fallout as a series as well, but 76 is a tragedy. I'm the odds of me buying another Bethesda property are very low.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So now you feel comfortable predicting or projecting what will happen in the future. How much will it be in the future? What is it going to be later this year? The megawatts deployed number by second quarter 2019. It takes a lot of time to refactor a product line. It takes time to restructure a company, and our focus last year was the Model 3 program, and so Tesla as a whole, if it did not take everyone off our solar focus and focus them on the Model 3 program to the detriment of solar, then Tesla would have gone bankrupt. That's not a good thing to say, Elon. So I took everyone from solar and said, instead of working on solar, you need to work on the Model 3 program, and as a result, solar suffered as you would expect. Question. Help me out with that. You said you took everyone off solar? That could possibly be taken off solar, yes. Okay, so who would that include? That would include engineering, management, sales, service, everything that could possibly be redirected towards Model 3 program was so redirected. This was the right course of action for the company. As opposed to just hiring new people and not buying a multi-billion-dollar acquisition. Anyway.
This obviously seems like he's trying to cover up for the fact that he was bailing out people he knew.
Yeah. So engineers that you took off, what were the engineers doing on solar that you took them off to do the Model 3? Well, they were working on the solar roof and improving the costs of the solar retrofit. How were they working on the costs of the solar retrofit? It is important with a solar retrofit to reduce the cost of installation. It's much more complex and difficult than it may seem, and actually requires quite a bit of engineering to a lot of engineers to make the installation process efficient and also make the retrofit solar aesthetically appealing as much as a retrofit can be aesthetically appealing. Then the solar roof itself is a difficult product, very difficult product. Nobody has yet succeeded in such a product, so obviously that requires a lot of effort. Many people have tried, many companies have tried, and none have succeeded. It's a hard problem. He has those Trump
moments.
A little bit. So what you'll see as we solve these things, as because resources, that's not me misspeaking, that's him, as because resources have now been applied to solar in a dramatic increase in deployment of megawatts in the years to come. At least one cannot predict these things precisely, but in years to come, this case will look silly, and you will have wasted our time and yours. Alright, Zuckerberg, maybe calm down. Don't social network this. You're in a deposition, don't be rude.
Someone said, like, I don't know who the fuck it was. I think it's this Roberson kid. Said, like, sure, maybe Tesla is dishonest, but, like, it's helping.
No, it's not. Question. We're all entitled to our opinions. It's a wonderful world, and everybody has them. So, Musk interrupts. Mark my words, I'm sure you will.
Mark Zuckerberg, my words.
This is some weird... Again, he speaks like a fucking weird narcissist.
Mark my words. You'll rue the day, knave. Ken of the Falcon with $5. Going back to the new name thing, Jackie and Jake. It would be an easy edit for the Bible Reloaded opening. Keep up the good work. Love you guys. Only game I'll spend more than $20 on will be Cyberpunk. Yeah.
So explain to me what the solar retrofit is, just so that I have an understanding of what that means. Answer. Solar retrofit is when somebody has an existing roof and you put solar on their existing roof. Question. So do you have engineers involved in every installation, or is that just engineers working on the concept and then those go into each installation thereafter? That's actually a more interesting question than you realize.
Little did you know, I'm the genius.
Question. I'm not very smart, so I'll get lucky every now and then. I like that the lawyer's, being, self-deprecating as to juxtapose Musk's weird personality. Answer. The way it is traditionally done with solar retrofit maybe, you're not quite correct. This is done still today at Tesla, although it's changing, and is done in the rest of the industry, where doing solar retrofit is a bit like getting a custom-tailored suit. So somebody will come out to your house, they'll carefully measure all of the dimensions of your roof, and then there will be engineering involved. They will engineer a solution that is specific to your roof, that matches the contours and shape of your roof, just like a custom-tailored suit. And it will often take 2 or 3 visits. It will take structural engineering. It's complex, and each installation requires engineering. Mr. Chesler says, wait. The lawyer says, I'm sorry, were you done? No. Now, a more efficient way to do this is to come up with what you might call a sort of an off-the-rack suit solution where you do not need engineering on per installation basis, but you have to engineer the solution. So you want to have something like that is just a few sizes, like it's a suit. He repeats words a lot.
I am handsome with $5. A. Buy, play, and fall in love with the Outer Worlds. B. DST ends tonight, plus 1 hour sleep. I don't know what DST is. C. Election on Tuesday. Oh, and I love y'all stuff. I'm happy to know your itinerary. Thank you very much.
Q. My question was, Musk interrupts. Think of the difference between a custom suit and an off-the-rack suit. I mean, a custom suit would be thousands of dollars.
Daylight saving time, maybe? Yeah.
Who gets a custom suit? Hardly anyone. Seville Row type of thing. You guys probably have custom suits. You're not wearing a suit. Not today, going down to San Diego. You probably have one tucked away, I suspect. So first,
What's he talking about? Why is he talking about suits? He's so fucking weird.
So first, pretty expensive, as you know. People measure you. There's a lot of effect in measuring. You have to tailor everything, whereas an off-the-rack suit, you could just have half the cost, less 20%, 30% off the cost. And that's the way to do it. So that's what we're going to do with the retrofit. It's going to be great. Super easy. But the team at Solar City Installers that were acquired, going to put them to good use. It's going to be great. The best.
Fuck off.
So, just did a software release of this recently. He said, so we just did a software release, not a soft release, a software release of a solar retrofit? That doesn't make sense.
Jeffrey Petro, $2, just a simple country lawyer. Elon, did you come good? So, you don't know the inside joke from that. Coach Red Pill said recently in a video that we watched on stream, A thing that you should text a woman after a sexy date is, "Hey, did you come good?"
Oh no, what?
So that's a meme now.
Christ.
Yeah, if you if you want to watch that, go to twitch.tv/actualjake. He's just an idiot.
We're going to iron out the rough edges, and then we're gonna do a hard launch, some sort of big launch, and it's gonna be amazing. I can tell you why it's going to be amazing. That's not my question. I'm not trying to cut you off, but none of this is my question, so I'm just happy to let you keep talking. Elon Musk responds, "Cool."
Maybe that will work? There you go. There's a link.
Mr. Chesler says, "I'm not going to debate with you what your question was, but you can finish your answer." Elon responds, "I'm telling you, you're going to want this at the end of the meeting."
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh man, I want to get this thing. It's going to be great. The key is to make the solar installation so cost effective that at the end of the day, net of your financing costs, it generates, say, $500 to $1,000 a year. So if you got financing," Elon, Jesus Christ. "If you got financing, you have a utility bill that's maybe like $100 to $200 a month. And then so if you're going to have financing on your solar, and then you're going to generate electricity, and then the net effect will be a net cash generation of $500 to $1,000 a year." He's giving a fucking sales pitch in the middle of this deposition, like the lawyer gives a fuck. Who cares? And then, so if you're going to have... Oh, I already read that part. "And the system using high-efficiency panels will be small enough that you can tuck it away and it blah, blah, blah." He continues the sales pitch. After a long rant. Right.
It's just funny. Like, listening to him talk, I don't know how you could be an Elon fan. Right. I just don't get it.
Right. Are you done? Because that wasn't my question, but are you done with whatever that was? I love this lawyer.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Whatever that was.
I was explaining to you why I think that not my question, why I think that the solar growth is going to be incredible. Good. You seem to be caring about this a lot. I don't care about anything you just said, but we'll go on. I just want to make sure I understand.
I like this guy taking him to task.
"It's gonna knock your socks off. You'll be amazed. You'll love it." So the question I'm trying to understand in the context of "do you want to try one? We could try one."
He just interrupts him?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
"Counsel, I'm going to ask you to have your client actually wait for a question before he keeps talking, or else we will have to end this deposition, and I'm going to go to the Vice Chancellor and have him give specific direction as to how to behave."
Are they in space court?
Mr. Chesler, which I believe is Elon's lawyer. "Counsel, don't make speeches like that. Look, you asked him what a retrofit was. You wanted a very short answer. He told you, I think pretty eloquently, what a retrofit is. And now I'm trying to ask the next question, and he keeps on, ask your next question."
Jesus Christ.
So let's talk about the engineers that were used for the solar retrofit. Were those the same engineers that came over from Solar City, or were they different engineers? The retrofit engineers primarily are from Solar City. So you used people who were doing engineering on each of the individual installations, and you moved them to the Model 3. Is that what you're telling us? As I answered in my previous question, I moved everyone who could possibly be useful to Model 3. This includes sales, service, delivery, production, supply chains. It's like all hands on deck. We need to solve Model 3, and we had a lot of trouble with Model 3 last year, as I'm sure you're aware. That's in the press. As if everyone like, I know because I pay attention to this shit because I'm a masochist, but not everyone necessarily knows that. So we solved the problems, and the Solar City team was very helpful in solving these problems, and was instrumental in Tesla's success last year. So, instrumental!
Does this wrap up?
Oh, it goes on for I could do this all fucking day.
I do not want you to. I want you to hit me with the...
Maybe I need to read this on stream or something sometime. Holy shit.
We can literally do a transcript, and I will play the lawyer, and you can play Elon.
Oh, that's a good idea, like a chick tract almost. Yeah,
that's fine. We can do that. We'll do that next time.
Oh, he's such a child. Hold on.
Want to do that for patrons?
Maybe, yeah.
Tell you what, we will do Elon Chick Tract for patrons soon. So patreon.com/Hugo and Jake if you want access to that.
So you have the Solar City engineers doing, from the retrofit, moved over to work on Model 3. As I said, more than just that, please don't interrupt me. Please don't interrupt me. And I wasn't interrupting you. Great.
All right, save it.
Oh, man, it's so good.
It is good. There's multiple... You keep scrolling.
Look at this. Look at this. It goes on for like an hour.
Yeah.
It's fucking bonkers.
It's great.
I'll download it so I make sure I have it.
Ugh. All right. So we have 5 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer, depending on answers. But if you would like to have if you have a question or you just want to say something, we will be reading all super chats and make sure that you get your shit answered. Thank you so much so far for just hanging out with us. It's a good time. We like to do these. Elon pilled, says Ray Gunner Gaming. I guess so. Elon pilled.
Elon Musk is so weird to me. If anyone ever makes an Elon Musk documentary, let's say the frauds really hit the fan, and he actually gets in trouble, have me as one of the talking heads. I would love to be one of those people. Remember the Firefest documentary?
Yeah.
I want to be one of those people who's just like, I don't know how people didn't see this being a fucking fraud.
And you can have your cork board in the back with all the red string on it.
Yeah. Pepe Silva.
Pepe Silva.
Pepe Silva. It's all related to Pepe Silva. People get it. You people understand the reference.
Those are cool. Yeah. Honestly, they make you look like you're about to go do lots and lots of hallucinatory drugs in Las Vegas with Johnny Depp.
I don't want to do it with Johnny Depp.
You have to. That's what the glasses are for. That's how you get let in. Ghost Reaper, what do you think of The Outer Worlds?
It's excellent. I
really
really enjoy it.
I haven't had a lot of time to spend on it because I've been doing other stuff, but I think next week I'm gonna sit down and no life it for a little bit. Joe Joyner, Suit and Tie Games here. Keep up the good work. Hey, thanks, Joe, for the $19.99. I appreciate you. Joe is very supportive all the time on every platform that we do anything. So thank you so much, Joe. What a good fella. Marcel with $5. I think people like him because of his Twitter and the fact that he did meme review with PewDiePie. Yeah. Sure, but have you considered he's wrong about a lot of things?
Elon's not... People talk about Elon like he's this fucking meme master. He's not. He's like a 40-something, maybe older-year-old man who...
The lizard wearing a man suit.
Who uses outdated memes. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, it's
whatever, though.
It's a sad thing.
That's not a slight on his character or anything. I just find I find all the Elon worship very strange.
I agree.
Maybe it's because weird chuds see something in them.
Yeah, I just don't.
In him.
I think it's because of the there's a little bit of that benevolent capitalist thing that he likes to put on. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He claims he's a socialist, and what he means by that is he does things that he thinks are good for the planet, whereas he doesn't allow his workers to unionize.
Hey, SpaceX is interesting, but come on. Sarah Mackey with $9.99. Hey peeps, thank you very much for the dono.
That's why I don't like SpaceX is great. That's great. Whatever. But Elon has next to nothing to do with that other than the fact that he is a venture capitalist and a capitalist that gets investors to invest in that. And he puts his money into that.
Yeah.
Those engineers are the people who are actually doing the work at SpaceX. And if they weren't working there, they'd be working at Boeing or NASA or wherever. Mm-hmm. It's not Elon. He doesn't have the secret space sauce. You know what I mean?
Secret space sauce. Chinman Lai with $2. When's the name reveal, Hugo?
That's a good question. I could do it now, I guess.
We don't have to. We can do a whole thing about it. I think it'd be interesting on an Ask Hugo for you to be able to, because people seem to get a lot out of those, and this being at the tail end of a live stream that not a lot of people are going to want.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I don't know, just for visibility.
Yeah, Hugo, people would toss you so much money if you would Twitch. I know I need to, but my computer's such shit. It doesn't. I can't stream on it, so I got to figure something out. I've talked about. my PlayStation would work with a headset, but I'd have to be playing a video game while streaming.
Yeah, but you can't set up Streamlabs and shit with that. So,
Yeah.
Truett Doty with $20. TJ Ascension here saying Elan is such a grifter. I like calling him Elan. It's kind of like calling Tommy Lahren Tammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Elan. Low Key Jarlson with $2. Hugo, you're gonna make a purty lady. Here's boob cash.
Thanks.
I like spelling it boob. I like that. Pay more money so we get the name reveal. I just feel like it would help more people if you I don't know. I mean, you can do whatever you want. I just feel like there's a group of people on the internet that you have really helped on accident. Like, it's totally on accident, not intentional, and I think they'd appreciate a focused discussion on it. You know?
Yeah.
Where this is more about hating Elon.
That's my passion in life, though. So.
Bellum G with $5 reduce. I can confirm how much money I'd give Hugo on Twitch. I'm the Daddy Sume of Dead Dad Cash. That's also a meme. Bubo and Jake, yes. Bubo. You change your name to Bubo. I'll put you in my will. That's such a fuck society name. That's stupid. All right. SP, just true. We're gonna be doing you are invited to Cornsgiving. I'm gonna do a corn spread. Everybody can hang out. It'll be a good time. We're also going to do, if you missed the last stream or some of the other stuff, we are going to do a Christmas unboxing. So send your Christmas presents to the P.O. Box. It's in the description. It is P.O. Box 6544, I think, 6455, one of the two.
No, I don't remember.
It's in my Twitter as well. But
yeah, Twitter bio.
But we're gonna do the P.O. Box Christmas thing, and we'll have cookies, and we'll wear onesies, and maybe I'll get a Santa beard and everything, and we can unwrap presents or just cards or whatever you want to send. Doesn't have to be anything substantial, obviously. A kind note, a Christmas card, a picture of your dog or cat. You know. Literally just a picture of your cat, nothing else in the envelope. Totally fine with that. Matthew Olson, wow, with $50, monies for a new PC, it will definitely help.
Yeah. It
will definitely help. Thank you so much, Matthew. That's incredibly fucking kind of you. Yeah. So that's I wish I could give you something for that. I can give you nothing.
You can tell it's near the end of the stream because I start fucking with the props.
Yep, the props. Should I change? I made his dice a 2 on accident. There we go. Wait, that one's a 2 as well. Did I do that? What was it? How do we know? This one's a 3. Did I do any of this? Has this been changing? Have I been fucking with these absent-mindedly the whole stream?
I don't know.
Okay. 10 hugs. How much for a hug? What's the dono that they have to reach for us to hug each other? Like a single donation.
I'm not gonna hug someone for money.
Miu Edelfeld. I'll hug anyone for money. You just said your price was hooker money. $1.99. We'll donate more to Boob Fund once I have more. Well, if you can't afford it, please don't do it. Yeah. But take care of number one. Number one is you. Okay? Hugs are not praxis. Hug for money, Hugo.
No.
What about a hover hug? Where we don't actually make contact, but it's awkwardly close.
That's worse.
Is it worse?
Yeah.
Okay.
P.S. We were having a discussion earlier. Jake had a glass in his room so long mushrooms were growing in it.
There was not mushrooms in it.
How disgusting is that?
Why are you lying about the mushrooms?
I thought I saw mushrooms.
No. So I had a glass
It was mold then. It was tons of mold.
So I had a glass of beer, and, like, overnight...
I don't believe this happened overnight.
Okay. Well, overnight, it had, like, a thing floating in it, and I thought it was interesting, and so I put a can inside of the glass, because it's like a glass like this. It's like a beer glass. I didn't finish the bottom of the beer, and I had left it after a stream and forgotten about it. And then I found it the next day, and there was a little thing floating in it, and I thought it was interesting, and I put a little can in there, and I just let it grow.
That's so fucking gross.
I guess. I don't know. It's not like I was gonna drink it. Green Man, $10. Hugo, there is no accident in being all that awesome. Don't create life. I thought it was. I don't know. It was just. I don't know. It intrigued me.
That's so fucking Google image mold.
Why?
Because don't just grow mold for fun. That's fucking disgusting.
I suppose.
What is wrong with you?
Maybe I'm a scientist.
This is one step away from piss jugs.
Wouldn't have gone dank if it was. I do not think that is one step away from piss.
How many
jugs.
steps away from piss jug is that, people?
Pissing in a jug?
Yes.
Bring back Planters PB crisps. I don't remember those.
Were those the? No, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Oops.
I don't know then.
Poop sock? What's poop sock?
Someone pooped in a sock and then they froze it.
Our Darwin with $6.66. Well, it's actually euros, I think. How about a virtual hug, or we just say we hugged, but we actually didn't? Is that a good enough price?
Sure.
Okay. We hugged. Bellum, Jake has become Egnier, confirmed. Now, wasn't that impressive? H.J. Cooper with 2 of those. I'm getting a Vagoo in January. Buy you a Skittle. Hey, congrats.
Congratulations.
Jake is a botanist? No, I think just scientist in general. No, it was obviously unintentional, and then I was like, well, I want to see where this goes.
That's so much worse.
That's
so much worse.
It'd be more. I think it's worse if I absentmindedly just
it's worse
didn't notice the thing.
It's worse that you were
8
aware.
inches away.
It's worse that you were aware and then went, continue.
No, it's not. I feel like it's not worse.
It's so much worse.
I've literally cleaned that desk like probably a dozen times since that cup started.
That's so much worse.
I just thought it was cool. I don't know.
That's fucking disgusting.
I guess. I don't know. Do you wear gloves when you wipe your butt or something? Like, are you germaphobe?
You don't have to be a germaphobe to recognize...
You don't pee in the shower like a fucking psychopath.
You don't have to be a germaphobe to recognize that allowing a cup to sit there long enough that mold grows and intentionally allowing it to do so is fucking disgusting. This is like basic shit.
People disagree with it. It had a fucking. It was not open.
What are you talking
Poop sock,
about?
a weapon to surpass
People are
Metal
either
Gear?
sarcastically calling you a scientist or agreeing with me. No one is on your side.
No, people are definitely on my side.
No, they are.
Yep.
This is Elon narcissism. This is what.
How
this
is that narcissistic?
The inability to accept that you're wrong. It's fucking bananas.
Jake was the mold all along. You don't have a poop sock? I can't fuck with that. Jake pees in the shower. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. How do you not pee? No, I don't pee in the shower every time, but like, it's not like I hold pee to pee in the shower. You can. So say if you got like poop on your hand or your arm. I don't know why. Maybe you fell and there was some dog poop in a yard and you took a shower. Is it bad to wipe the poop off into the drain of the shower?
I would use a paper towel first.
Well, sure. I'm just saying, like, you'd still have shit on you, regardless. Is it bad to have the poop go into the shower drain?
That's an accident. That's an accident that you have to solve.
Yeah?
You're intentionally peeing in the shower because you can't wait 5 minutes.
Me? No, I usually pee before the shower because I hear the running water and I go, time to pee. But I mean, like, I don't think it's gross if people pee in the shower. It's not like they're peeing on themselves.
The mold thing's grosser than the peeing in the shower.
You think the mold is worse than a piss jug? I thought it was interesting. Do you want The Last of Us? No. Yes. Yes. because we get survival lesbians, and it makes people mad. Nobody likes survival lesbians unless they're leftist SJWs. I think it's worse to poop down the shower.
No one should waffle stomp. Not cool.
People definitely waffle stomp. There's at least statistically one waffle stomper in here. Those sick fucks. Survival lesbians.
Someone says, let me tell you, I take more than 5 minutes to shower. Sure, so do I, but like, generally as an adult, you can, unless you have a medical condition, you can hold pee for longer than it takes to shower.
What's the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea? Nothing. It's a regional thing.
It was a joke. It was a setup to a joke.
What was?
What's the difference between a garbanzo bean and a chickpea? I wouldn't pay $20 for a garbanzo bean on my face. As opposed to a chickpea on my face. That's the joke.
But do you orgasm in the shower? Shower fucking is... You gotta have a specific setup to make that, like, fun. That's what I'm saying.
That's why old people have shower chairs.
So they can fuck in the shower? Oh.
It's not their brittle bones.
You worked in an old folks' home and so many people pooped in the shower, and the person above said this person is a waffle stomper. Did you waffle stomp the poop down the shower drain? Dungeon Cheese. The anti-SJWs begrete. What? They made left edgy again. I don't know what begrete is. I know a lot of people. You ever seen Gun Girl? And that she pooped herself? Did you ever see that picture? Look up Caitlin Bennett poop. Look up that. I can't show it on stream, I don't think.
With a Y, Caitlin? Or
I don't fucking know. You'll get it. It'll pop up.
Caitlin what?
Caitlin Bennett poop. You're going to see a lot of poop. Oh boy, is it a lot of poop. Yeah, she pooped all over herself.
I accidentally hit the .com button, so it was
Go to images.
It was CaitlinBennettPoop.com.
Oh, that's probably... Do you have safe search on or something? Where's the poop? You might have to go to Twitter. It's awful.
Oh, look.
Holy shit.
Gun girl pooped her pants. There we go.
Keep going. No, that's not it. It'll be in like a hallway. Keep going. But you pooped your pants. Do that. Do that. Someone's going to have... If it's a thread underneath her shit, someone's going to have the picture. No, go to her replies. Go to her replies. Click on that. Right there. She's right there. Just go on her replies. There's poop everywhere. Just someone's got it down there. She tries to block everybody.
Tweet is unavailable. Maybe it was that, but it got deleted for some reason.
Oh man, there's just so much shit, guys.
Why can't I find
this? God, it's so much. Someone send it to Hugo on Twitter right now.
Could we? Okay.
Just once. Just one. If you see another one, don't do it. It's... Oh God, it's just... I shit my pants as an adult and I'm happy I'm not bulimic anymore. Wait, does bulimia make you poop your pants? I guess that would make a little bit of sense. You'd have You have to show us now? We'll just go to the Twitter. You'll find it.
I'm looking further down Google Images. Do I have...
It's in my mentions.
I don't think I have safe search on.
I can't believe it's not up. Dude, it's like... It's more poop than I think I've ever pooped. Like, volume-wise. Like, I think if you put it in like a beer pitcher, hers would beat mine, ever. The biggest one. It was a lot. She's like passed out in a hallway in a door, and it's definitely her. And she pooped all over herself. It's crazy. Who's Gun Girl? It's that stupid Republican girl who's like walked around Kent State or something like that with a gun, with an AR-15. Yeah. It's like, ooh, you can't take my guns. And now she's made her entire personality that thing. But every time she says anything, like she dressed up like a Native American for Halloween.
Just to be edgy.
Literally just to be edgy. And so I replied, this would be offensive if it wasn't so predictable and cringy. Yeah. And then basically her entire thing is she passed out drunk at Kent State and she pooped her pants, but she wasn't wearing pants. She was wearing a skirt, so the poop is just fucking everywhere. It's awful. Shower drains and toilet drains connect right under the bathroom floor.
How can I not find this picture?
I'll find it. She does report a lot of them because there's poo, you know? Did anyone send me the poo picture just now because we're talking about it? Could be. Validate me. Okay, so I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go down here. There's no way I can let you get off this stream without seeing the poop. It's so tremendous.
We have the best poop. Tremendous.
Here you go. Here it fucking is.
I must have safe search on then.
That's so much shit!
Huh. That's a
lot of poop!
It's just it's so perfectly cradled, like, between her legs too.
And you see, there's someone do it for state, and there's someone else looking like, yeah, I'm gonna ruin this person's social life. That is so much, and look at the girth on them. That's a high protein diet.
Yeah.
Can I not show that? Is poop against TOS?
Yes. Don't show it.
Is poop against TOS?
Don't show it.
Hold on. I'm gonna retweet it. Go to my Twitter. @PapaBirdJake. I just retweeted it. There you go.
Splatterkin, does the gun she carry also shot said poop? Well.
Awful. Just fucking awful.
Okay, so that's probably the end, I guess.
Jesus fucking Christ. I hope you saw it. Please follow me on Twitter. Oh yeah, that is...
It's so bad.
How do you make it so it... Oh, your just screen's longer. That's it. Whoa, that's a lot of poop. I told you! I wasn't overselling the amount of poop. Tiddity tidbits for Hugo. Thank you. I thought Jake was joking. Nope. Nope. Alright, that's it.
The best part about that, too, is there's no way she can get up without making it worse.
Oh, no. No. There's no way out of that situation. And of course she's not going to know, right? Because she's... Let's be real. By the time she woke up, her body acclimated to the heat on her legs.
Also,
she got up, immediately spread her legs. It fell between. She leans backwards. It squishes in between her legs. She puts a knee down. She tries to get up. She slips on the poop. Probably falls back down. There's a whole situation. There's a comedy of errors regarding that poop. And do you think she cleaned it up, or do you think she was too embarrassed and drunk?
I don't know. Just looking at it, I can smell it. Oh, God.
I know, didn't it?
Gross.
It's like, I bet she, I don't know, looked like a steak dinner with peas on the side. You ever smelled baby poop before?
No.
They eat basically like mush carrots, apples, and peas, so it's got like a sweetness to it that makes it really fucking gross.
The
poop stand-up is killing me. Oh, yeah. Her standing up with the poop killed her more. That was, yeah, no. It's like stacked logs, says Brian.
It's so bad.
She denies that it's her, but every one of her classmates are like, no, that's her. Like, oh, jeez, there's no way that's just all her. What do you mean that's not just all hers? You think someone saw her poop a little bit? You know what? I'm gonna make it look worse. I'm gonna secretly take a dump.
Just
squatting
over this drunk pencil girl and pooping on her poop. I'm an adult, god damn it. I'm not 12 years old.
Sometimes you gotta poop on someone else's poop. Jason probably on, I'd poop on her to make it worse. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm a poop truther. I wish we could show it. I wish we could.
Why is this so funny to me? It's so bad.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, end the stream so I can go home and read this Elon transcript.
Splatterkin. It's not even liquid. It's all solid. I told you. You know what the best part is? You can see the different tracks where it all went out at once, kind of like Silly String went and splatted, and then another one went right next to it.
Surprisingly consistent for like a drunk poop, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's...
If you're pass out drunk and your shit is that solid, the fiber you must be ingesting.
It's got like two very distinct... There's so much shit.
Big Rooster says it looks like the poop was beamed on. Yeah. End the stream. I'm gonna die.
Okay. All right. Nobody even look at me. Don't even look at me.
Thanks, everyone. It's been a good stream. See you guys soon next week. I believe the next thing will be a Bible study.
Yeah. Jesus fucking Christ.
Speaking of shit, did anyone see the new Terminator movie?
Oh, God.
R.I.P. Edward Furlong. Again.